Well, I think your product idea is really neat because it's unique and it reinvents and makes something people want to own.
Yeah, and I mean that's the idea, and it's been slow going. I mean, people see it and they love it, but you know, the distributors and the stores are like, well, I don't know, it's expensive, and it's like, well, you know, whatever. You're selling like one album. People are like remastering vinyl, and then putting like a download code in with like a remastered vinyl, and put it on like color vinyl, and turning around and selling it for like $22 at the stores. And I'm like, so this is like $50, but it's two albums, a book, a DVD. I mean, you know, the small book is just a DVD and a CD for $25. I mean, DVDs cost $25. You know, so it's just that the stores are, you know, having a hard time, and they're like, well, they don't want to shell out that kind of money. You know, but they're taking it in like small bunches, and then like, oh wow, it's like we sold out, we're gonna order, you know, more. But it's not like 10 years ago where they would just order, you know, 20,000. Now they're gonna order like 50. If they sell it, then they're gonna order 75, and it's just gonna go like that because they don't know what they're doing either. You know, everyone's scrambling in the music business. You know, everyone thinks they know where it's going, and nobody does. And people are losing their jobs. And, yeah, it's changing, you know, so that's, you know, you got to see who's going to hold on. And we've always been there. We're like cockroach. We never go away. Yeah, we never go away. You just got to know when to lay back, you know. Right now's that time, you know. Lay back, see where everything goes. Things are changing a lot, you know, in the music biz. Things are changing in everything, but really in the music biz, because music always came back and always did something, but now there's no control over it, you know. And it's going to happen with books. It's going to happen with movies. It is. I mean, it's happening with books and movies. I mean, half the bookstores are closing down. So, yeah, it's tough for artists, and it's a whole sort of trickle down thing too. Photographers, you know, graphic designers. I mean, everybody. It's hurting. Anyone in the arts is feeling it. You know, it's sorry to be depressing.
You guys need a government bailout. We don't need those banks.
Yeah, we do. And it's not even that, you know, it's just like, where's it going, you know, because now it's like, oh, I was just talking to my friend, who's a photographer, he's like really good photographer, and it's like, you know, there used to be people that used to do stock photography, you know, and then if you wanted a photograph of something, you go there and you get it, and that person would get a royalty, you know, through these companies. No one needs that anymore. I mean, people just use whatever. It doesn't really matter. Like, people don't really care that much anymore what's on it. Yeah, just grab this, you know, put it on there. Like, the whole thing with getting some, you know, great artist or photographer, it's not sought after anymore. It's more like save a buck and put whatever on there. So a lot of people are, you know, not getting taken seriously anymore. It's kind of rough.
Have you thought about doing a tour of different surf spots since you surf?
No, totally.
And we talked about that a bit.
I mean, we were actually, NoFX has gone down to Costa Rica in the beginning of December, and I've been texting them like, hey, bring us, you know. And I don't know, some festival, I'm trying to get them to put us on the Costa Rica show. I'm going to Costa Rica anyways in January, just for 10 days to surf, but because my friends like have places down there. So basically just got miles, so free flight, get there, and beautiful place right on the beach. Like, walk out to the surf break, just pay for food. That's good. So yeah, maybe Costa Rica. I mean, we were trying to work out this thing in Brazil like 3 months ago. This guy wanted us in 7 seconds, but I couldn't get 7 seconds to commit, which was ridiculous because we were going to do, you know, Brazil. We were going to go down to Peru, Mexico, and then after the whole thing that this guy set up, we were going to fly to Costa Rica and do there because my friend does shows there. But that fell through. But that'll happen. It'll come. We're going to do that. Definitely South America is on the map.
Well, I know you referenced the surfing in the movie at the beginning of it, which was really interesting because I think being a surfer or skateboarding, things like that, your outlook on the world is just different than people that don't do it.
Oh, yeah.
And I could see where that translated into what you did and then when you went on with BYO and things like that. Do you find that even surfing in general sometimes helps you formulate more ideas for songs or just stuff where maybe it clears your head?
No, it totally clears it. I mean, if I didn't have surfing, I don't know, I'd be just, you know, that's my, like, saving, you know, grace, you know, that's what I need. You know, when I'm on tour, that's why I like surfing in New Jersey. Like, I can leave. I mean, I just got barreled in New Jersey, and we're about to go into Canada. So you're out for 5 weeks, and you're just hearing about all the good surf, but you need to get in the water. When I'm not in the water, I just turn into just an asshole. Totally.
We can laugh and agree with that one.
Yeah, you know how it is, right?
Yeah.
It's tough, you got to get in the water, and then you get out there, and that's why I love, traveling, and you go someplace like Costa Rica, and, the first few days, you're sort of, you're still in your city mode and everything, but after like 5 days of being somewhere, I don't even want to go home anymore. I could just live that way, just, it's probably the most clear my head is when I'm doing that. Does it help with songwriting? Nah, I don't think so. Because it's pretty different. Our songs are pretty aggressive, and surfing's pretty mellow. But it definitely it's your meditation. That's what it is. It clears. Gets your stress reliever. So that's great. Well, you surf. And the thing is, when we were kids, and we were surfing, we used to go to the Santa Monica Civic, which is over by right where Bicknell is and everything, right where Bay Street is, where everyone surfed, and 2 blocks away was Santa Monica Civic, which was right next door to the police station and the Santa Monica Police. This place held 3,000 people, and there would be this is before punk rock, and there's surf movies, all the 70s surf movies like Fluid Drive and stuff like that. When a movie would come there, 3,000 crazy surfers. And it was as crazy, more crazy than punk rock shows. I mean, it was insane. We're 14, 15 years old. And you walk in, it's just the whole thing is just, drugs, sex, just crazy, just out of control. 3,000 people, Police riot squad outside, freaks, we're all outcasts then, before punk rock ever even came around, before, the Sex Pistols, it's it was full outcast, but you could take your board and go on the coast highway and put your thumb out, and anyone that had a surfboard would pick you up because we were a total minority. You'd be 15, as long as you had a joint, you were good. You can get anywhere. We used to just sleep in the bushes and stash our boards. We go 2 hours up north, and we had all these stash spots where we'd dig out under the bushes and just slide your board in and then take off, and you could hitch a ride back up the next day and get your board out. That's what we did. We just lived down there. So when punk rock came around, it was it was different. I mean, it was cool, but for us, it was oh, this is crazy music, and we got into it. But then when the surfers were getting into it, I mean, that's how the LA scene got so big. It's all the Orange County surfers, They were already crazy. Also, sort of meatheads, too, but that was later, Because that's kind of what happened to surfing, too. There's a lot of meatheads got involved with surfing, the whole jock thing. Because that was never like that. In the beginning, you read those articles those guys in Australia, what's his name, Pete. What I'm talking about, Pete Wentzik. Those guys, all 70s guys. He was a really good photographer, and they were doing the same shit out there in Australia, that we were doing in California at the same time. It's pretty funny, and it's just weird how that subculture that really is the thing that pushed the whole punk rock thing big, from the surfers. People don't know how tied in it was. And then it took another wave and got big, and that was more jock kind of thing, oh, it's a violent, let's go down and kick some ass kind of thing, which kind of ruined things, but yeah, they don't really have a clue, what the music's about, but I think in the beginning everyone did, even the surfers, even though it came in and it got more violent in LA with that. I think those people, though, had a clue what was going on. It got violent just because we were getting our asses kicked by, hippies and, people originally, just if you looked weird, you would just get, if you were by yourself, you'd just get beat up. People would chase you down, jump out of their car, you freaks. Just what the hell? And so when it started getting bigger, it was oh shit, we got these people, let's get them, and there's more violence that way, just retaliation. Cool.
Thanks.
All right, yeah, thank you.